How's it so? Hello, everyone. How are you, Mr. Indicator? Are we live? Right. The New York session is live. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Morera, for arranging. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's a good day. It's a Friday. The last day of trading, or the last day of the week. I'm talking trading week for those who trade from Monday to Friday. So that's where we are now. You look like you are far, Mr. Murad. What's happening that side? Are you okay? Guys, can you comment about where Mr. Murad is? Okay. Mr. Murad is very far. Right. Starting. I want to be just honest with you. I have not checked anything on the economic side of the market. So I'm gonna check by checking how the calendar looks like. I've been kind of very busy today, going up and down, but here I am. Let me quickly look at the economic calendar with everybody. Let me just check that out. There you go. So let me just share that. Let's just check what's up for the schedule in terms of let's look how these guys are looking like. Right. Welcome. You can still right now keep sharing the link. We are going to be looking at how the markets are looking like now. The New York session. I think the stock market should be opening in 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, if they have not yet opened. The session is already in session. I think there it is. We have got high impact news. Let me share. We've got some high impact news coming through now in some 33 minutes. Let me just show you what you look for. Right. We've got some high impact news coming right now. In about 33 minutes, half an hour time, we are going to be getting the purchase managers index. That's medium, but the high impact news is going to be on existing home sales. So some news coming through 4 o'clock according to our time, and then we will take it from there. But doesn't look like they may shake up the market that much. PMI composite, nah, not much. It's a medium impact. Already we're just coming at 2:30 from high impact news of the Canadian dollar. Canada was releasing their month-on-month retail sales figures, and as we can see, the figures were 1.3 better than expected. The market expected a 2.3 data or figure to be released on the retail sales. So people were really, you see, that's exactly how we'll be monitoring the consumer. There's some consumer confidence there. So retail sales in Canada are 1.3% month to month better, meaning that better than they were last month. So means that this is better than expected. We expect the Canadian dollar to be stronger during this session. Let's just go to the market again. Is it stronger? We'll check on that. So in this case, let me stop the screen. Right, then let's just check what's up. What's up on the side of the market? Right, today I have promised that I will be looking at some few pairs. Our group on Telegram, I've just promised them that we will be looking at, we will together look at the USD ZAR again. It has done some interesting rides, something there just before. I think I was looking at it around 12 o'clock. That's what we're looking at on the USD CAD. It hasn't broken that level that we've spoken about. Remember, we spoke about this level when I think it was it not on Tuesday or so? Some guy, somebody asked that, coach, can you please look at how this could get? I mean, and then there we are. We're still on this falling wedge in a downtrend. So that's still holding. Could it go further down? I'm not sure. But that doesn't look like the Canadian dollar news of half past, the one that's just coming here. Doesn't look like that 1.3 improvement on the retail sales in Canada has really done anything to the Canadian dollar, especially when you look at the Canadian dollar against the neighboring currency, which is the US dollar. So they're still pretty much at the same point where they were with their neighbor, just as they started, and we are monitoring this. So basically, it looks like we may have to go back. We may have to go on holiday watching the same thing. So this is USD CAD. We can check some other Canadian pairs, but I'm not going to expect anything if I didn't see any form of movement, on that side. If I don't see a lot of movement on the USD CAD side, I don't expect that there will be too many of them right there. So in that case, looks like we are postponing, not the session, but we are postponing the breakout of the dollar against the Canadian dollar. We might just have to finish this week while the price is right inside that wedge, postponing it to next week. We don't rush the market. When we speak patience, we're not joking. But we cannot be talking patience if you don't know how the market is looking like or how the market is looking like. Who's there? Identify yourself. If you're watching right now and would like us to, deal with some other pair, I've got some few pairs that I'm going to be looking at today. I'm hoping that the New York session will give us some buzz. I'm honestly hoping that it will give some buzz. If it doesn't give some buzz, then I'll be very disappointed. So that's where we are at. If there's any pair that you'd like me to look at, you've been trading something this morning, or your account, perhaps your account seems to be having something, not like I'm going to fix accounts, I'm not a financial advisor, and all of the information that is shared on this channel or on this live trading session isn't financial advice. You are responsible for your own risk. So we are only sharing our own opinion. Cheers. We're simply sharing our own opinions, and then you can trade them. If you do trade them, you trade them at your own risk. So please, guys, apply risk management, regardless of how many times we get our analysis right. You need to be a prudent trader right there. Okay, so just note that part. So which pair would you like me to look at? Which pair? What would you like us to look at today? Administrator, I'm not able to see my screen on the other side, so I think you'd help me with that. My other screen I can't see, so let me know what's happening there. So perhaps I could start with another. I started with the fundamentals. I don't see anything interesting in the fundamentals as I see. Again, there is going to be Euro consumer confidence coming through again at 4 o'clock. It's a medium impact. I don't think that it could do anything. So we are just waiting for surprise fundamentals. So some fundamentals could as well just surprise us. Okay, so that's what we're hoping to get there. Right. Would you like me to look at a pair during the session? I will still continue to be analyzing as much as I can, freestyling today. Right. Check the dollar, check how it's doing, and then from there, take it from there. So most of you are interested. I can also speak about cryptocurrencies. I don't mind today. We can speak indices. We can speak commodities. We can speak anything. You know, what would you like to discuss? What would you like us to look at? All right. So let us know. I'm just showing you what we've been scanning or surveilling on the market. That's what we're looking at the moment. So that's our revised USD 500. That's our S&P 500, the US top 500. Just as once you see the market doing like this, they're going to be talking on the news to say that the market is going to be opening higher than when it closed. But with a serious divergence right there. The S&P 500 is still approaching the 4200 level, points level, which is the resistance. The pivot points, and I thought I saw some other guys who managed to get this harmonics pattern beautifully. So that's a bet. Well done to them. That's a bearish bet that has just been found right there. Is it gonna cause coronavirus? They say, sorry guys, I'm not trying to spread some myths here. You know, the people are saying that some others ate a bet somewhere. So this is not a bet that is anywhere related to any myths that are circulating right now about the current pandemic. So this is the bet that we've been trading long before there was coronavirus. So let me just clarify that. So it's before the authorities, the World Health Organization and the authorities of health start saying these guys is spreading the myths of the bets and the coronavirus. No, we've been trading bets here. So this is a bet, that's a bullish bet, not a bearish one. Pushing the price, definitely seeing the bottom there. The Nasdaq has already broken this top. I was speaking to one of my friends, fellow trader who also completed his educational program with us. Shout out to you, Mr. Mokele. So I know now you are loving the Nasdaq. You said that's good, man. Sorry that I'm mentioning you without your consent. So I just spoke to him right now. Hope he's joining us right now. He was hoping to join the session today. So that's the S&P 500. It has not yet broken the top of the bat that top of the bat. That lead is still holding. So will the S&P 500 break this resistance? I think they are commenting about it right now on CNBC, on Bloomberg. They're talking about them. Perhaps even some local channels here. I hope we can talk about it ourselves. That resistance is still holding. That's very psychological. Will it hold? Can it hold? How will the S&P 500 finish the week? Oh yeah. Will it finish higher than when it started this week? That's what we're going to be checking out. You know, this week started the 18th, I think. It was just ranging below that level. So if it breaks this high, it will have finished the week higher. The week started pretty much there. Yeah, the week started right at that resistance, at the double top. The week started at the double top. We can see that the week started by a crash of the S&P 500, and that's a pullback. So basically, the S&P 500 has recovered 100% from its losses that it started with on Monday. So we are back to where, as they say, it started from the top. We're still right there at the top. So started at the top, dropped, recovery. We are at the same today. It's a Friday, and the S&P 500 is at the same point where it was when it opened on Monday. There we go. Where will it go? I think some of the guys could be guessing that right now. So that's where we are now. We are on the S&P 500 already in the bag there, analyzed. We are right at the top there. You can see my analysis. It has not touched the bottom. I had thought that it could come and touch this support, but it didn't do so. Because it didn't do so, we are now expecting the price to perhaps, if it can do the lead, it may go on the higher side while others still remain on the downside. Remember that part. The S&P 500, rather the top US tech, the top 100 is already leading. You have the top 100 here. Let me just check what other pairs do I have right there. Right. I now have S&P 500 GBP CAD. I've got the Hang Seng Index there. Let's not talk the Hang Seng Index. I'm okay with that. I've already traded it downward. So that's where we are. Any pair that you'd like us to look at, any pair. You can ask us any pair, we can break it down. There's no problem. We can look at how it is. We can look at how it looks like. We can look at how any pair looks like. S&P 500 already broken down. Then let's see where others are looking at. Right. Anything. We can look at anything. There is the pounds. These are the analysis that we always keep, guys. I'm not doing them now. In fact, that's exactly what I would rather not do. Just compare notes there. There is a very nice 5 US 500. Rather, this is the NZD USD. Apologies for that. We are live, but our live still continue. Right, that's the S&P 500. This is the NZD USD. Have scalped on it last week. It wasn't very nice to be scalped this time. So next time, I think it should be right. Let's just, as you give me the pair to look at the moment, let me just take this call. We're back now. Apologies for that. We're back now. So that's the NZD against the dollar. I have been monitoring, and I still am monitoring that bullish channel. That bullish channel, we can see that it is well supported. There is another, you can see an inverse. You can see there is a bit of an inverse pattern right there happening. So then there is something that looks like it's a cipher or a Gatli right there. Okay, another harmonics pattern have formed, and it's a bullish one. Looks like a cipher or a Gatli right there. Right, there is another one. So it's looking positive. Will the dollar, you see, that's what we're talking about. Will the dollar continue to fall? If the dollar continues to fall, gold continues to rise. That is not a secret correlation right there. For now, I'm looking at the dollar against the New Zealand dollar. The US dollar against the New Zealand dollar. Who will rise? So the New Zealand dollar still pretty much poised to go to the upside. Even if it can do like this, up, it's bound to go. Will it do that? But that's what we're looking for. We are looking or waiting to see if these IHS, this inverse head and shoulders, would be validated. First one, back to the shoulder in the inside of that ranging market. Then we're waiting for the price. The price has been chopping inside that range, made a bullish Gatli. There it is. I think still a very good opportunity for anybody to be riding on it. The past 4 hours saw a very nice bullish candle right there, pushing to the upside. Will the buyers respond? Yes, the buyers are currently responding to this support. It's doing very well so far. The buyers are responding on this support line, and I can say they're loving it. Small risk at the moment. I'm not saying you should do that, but if you feel like you do have got the capacity, the potential long, a small risk, Right, small risk there. Just adjust this. Moderately so, you can get out again back at the same resistance. Moderately so, you may get up back there if you are afraid. Still 1:2 or 1:1.5. But if you are brave enough, we are going to the fading levels around the 461.8 of the expansions of our Fibonacci, using this wave as our first wave, and we are expanding from it. So there's the 261.8. We are ranging between the 261.8 and the 161.8 as our wave 3, 4, and then we would like to believe that the market could use the support to launch another rally that will go to wave number 5 of this impulse. Then from there we may have correction and a continuation. We will look at that. But that's what I'm looking for from the point of intraday. So if you are looking at the intraday, if you are looking at the intraday view of the NZD USD during this time, you can see that's where we are at. All right, that's where we are at. Right, that's where we are at now. So that's NZD USD. Already have looked at 3 pairs during this session. What would you like me to look at? Then we can do it together. NZD USD. You have got a different view, let me know. Let's look at the view that you have. But this is what we have at the moment, looking to. I know some people could be, doesn't matter, or let's say it matters what you have. Some could be looking at this, heads and shoulder, right? I'm gonna delete it. I don't like ugly charts, and especially when these don't form well. I'm okay with my intraday analysis of the NZD US dollar. Not too much cloud. So it doesn't complicate it. That's how it goes. Still bullish until these bullish patterns are invalidated. Sorry, I'm not selling my New Zealand. I'm keeping my New Zealand dollars. I'm selling none of them until then. Some could be looking perhaps at the bearish flag that could be forming just on the bounce of that Gatli. We can look at it on H1 perhaps. Right. Perhaps we can look at that. Some people could be looking at this point, perhaps. Let me remove these patterns now and then just keep a sell from that level. So someone could be looking at this and say, perhaps, coach, we have got a bearish flag right there. Perhaps we have, right? You know, you can look at it from any point. Could this be the guy who can destroy these, notice will not one? Could it be the pattern that could destroy this bullish launch? We can only confirm that on correlation, because I need to be sure that the dollar will have a general weakness or strength. As it is right now, as I've shown you, the dollar, it's looking still weak at the moment, still weakened, and its attempt to break out seems to be dampened by some sentiments which are negative against the dollar. So those sentiments have got to come back to the market. Those sentiments have got to come back. And once they are back, then we can know that something better could happen. So the dollar is still under pressure, according to me. The US dollar, the greenback is still under immense pressure. And I think that pressure is even mounted by the fact that gold has broken the bullish flag on a daily time frame, and that bullish flag has held the price on the upper side. You know, that bullish flag has held the price on the upper side. So if that bullish flag continues like that, we may see other people. If you've got this, my friend, I wouldn't blame you, but I will wait until this pattern, this bullish flag inside the channel is validated. Until then, I'll keep the support holding until it breaks. That's what you say. Could break. We're not saying that it's going to hold forever. It could break. But if it does break, we'll still be watching that. So that's where we are now. Right shoulder of this IHS still holding. It broke before, but is it still holding? We can take it from there. Euro yen has got nothing to do pretty much with the session, but Euro yen just keep pumping to the upside. So there is another bullish pattern. We're still waiting for it to confirm that that could be the final or another test of the low. And according to me, it has reached our target. Remember, I posted this sometime and I said, there's the target. So pretty much it's there. Even if it can go up, I don't think that it can go any higher than this point. Touch of our target, done completely, should be looking to the downside. So that's the Euro yen there. We have been bullish from this point. We have been bullish from here, bullish from that point. So the market vindicating us again, or those who have traded the similar pattern, let me not say us, those who traded the similar pattern, there it is, just about 250 pips move since the 5th of May. It was not part of our market preview for May, yet it did miracles. That's what we're looking at. I think that's the high it's going to now. Should be happy when it gets there, according to me. I don't want to surprise you. I don't want to tell you what I'm seeing right now. So this could be, voila. This now looks like it's gonna be the fading level. So I can include it in our, this in our pretty much review. So that's the fading level. One of the reasons why we got not good or bad, not so good names or good names, because of our counter trending abilities. We counter the market. So if somebody is buying, we can give a counter trade and say, no, then we will sell. But somebody will say, no, why are you buying? You will buy with you. So I always say that if they are buyers, they are sellers. So the market could go 10 somewhere between these 2 points. I always like the top one. So we are now at 132,597. Not time for me, not time at all to buy. Others could be a good time to ride this buy. I will be saying, where were you when the market was turning around from this bottom going up? Right. So, but it is still the time there. There could still be some nice opportunity there for the euro either to end there or to end there. It's completely overextended, should be exhausted. Looking for wave number 5. Will it get it here? Or will it get it at 135? I'm going for 135.42. But it can still turn at 134.31. Current price 132.60. 132.60. That's how it looks like. Where is your bias? You're gonna be going up or are you going down? Let me know. What else do you like me to look at? Euro yen is already down. So that's where we are now. Euro yen. Now let me leave my analysis as it is. It was a scalping kind of a trading there. There is nice buy, perhaps going up to the top there. So it could end there. 2, target 1, target 2, target 3. Which one do you prefer? Right. There it is. Target 1, 110 pips. Target 2, 180 pips. Target 3, 300 pips. I like the sell because once I sell, then I'm going down at least 50% of the entire movement. So sell, hold. At the top, not now. I would sell and hold. So that's where we are now. What would you like me to look at for you? Right. What would you like us to do? What would you like us to look at now? Give me a pair, give me a pair, give me a pair. Get me into the exam room, test me, and see. Right, that's where we are. So is this our scalping portfolio? That's our super scalp portfolio. Let's look at the real. When you say real, we mean real. Okay. Oh man. Look at that. I'm not gonna comment. No comment. That's what we're talking about. Where are you? Gold, can gold continue? Guys, the weakness there still shouts louder. The weakness of the dollar still shouts. You can see that gold still wants to get biased. I mean, how do you get this kind of a candle when you're over, when there is so much saturation there? I mean, how does that happen? Very, very, very interesting candle. I mean, how do you get a candle like this? Such a bullish. That was a statement right there. I mean, this statement that it made, I mean, rejecting this price from the 1850s, from the sellers, that was such a confidence. 1860, no hard. 1860, what about buy straight to 1890 in a matter of 4 hours? Such a demand it made there. That's hectic. You see, gold is doing such hectic things there. Can it fall? We have already, I'll wait for it. Like I said, I trade pullbacks. I trade on pullbacks. So for as long as it's still doing this, I'm loving the movement, but those are not the movements I'm watching, or I'm interested in. Others are waiting for the breakout of the 1890. There is approaching 1889. Are you interested in the breakouts of the 1890s coming there? I don't trade breakouts, but if you're interested, perhaps you could be watching that with me. We could do that. I could go to gold and watch that breakout. Will the breakout happen? Let's break it down. Let me show you. Can it happen? Can the breakout happen? And if the breakout takes place of the 1890, can it be sustained? Okay, you can only know that if you're a momentum trader, not just breakout. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Can this level break? Right. Let's look at it. Let me go to the smaller time frames. I'm going to break it down there, right there on M5. Where are the scalpers? You also do the M5s. There you go. That's where we are at. There's the top. Let's just mark the top as the top, guys. It's not beat about the bush. That's the top. Right. There's the top. Nice top. Right. There's the top. Touch and go. You can see that this candle, it is doing like that. I'm just going to be seeing and monitoring if this breakout, while we are on this session, will and can the breakout, can gold break out before the end of the trading week, and can, after breaking out, hold the 1890 level. Right, let's watch. This is something that can make news. Could be great news for those who are investing in gold, because it's very clear that if gold can sustain the momentum above 1890, looks like it's coming back to the 1960s. When I say 1960, I don't mean the year, I mean the price. $1,960 per ounce, I think they call it. Yeah. So that's where it is. That's where it is. Where are you at? Can it get there? Can it touch there? Can it touch? Or do you think it's going to pull back a little? Right. But it could be asking for more. Gold could be asking for more. Right. Where are the eliticians? So in this instance, we're watching there 1890. Will it break? There's still some selling there. There's still some rejection there. And the rejection is hectic. Look at that. How you monitor, watch at this buyer. The buyers are now defending the 1880s. That's what you call it, bar by bar. That's a serious rejection there. This is like the game of rugby, What a tussle. What a tackle right there. I mean, watch that. They are defending 1880 now. The buyers are now looking for a try. You know, they're tackling at 1880. They are now defending. It's called, they are taking deep. There goes the sellers. Very interesting, guys. We are watching a live market of the battle of a wrestling or a rugby game between the buyers and the sellers of gold. Oh, I love it. Very rare moment, eh? As they say, on a rare picture. A rare picture. There are the sellers coming. Oh man, look at the sellers. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that drill. Will the buyers hold? Oh my goodness. This makes me feel like a novice trader somewhere in 2011, 2012. You know, I'm looking at these candles like this. They used to fascinate me. You know, this is absolute fascination. The sellers have got it, guys. The sellers are a push. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. They have drilled through this. They have drilled through the support. Scalpers are loving this, I'm sure. Right? No. The sellers have got it. Beautiful market. If you're loving this watch, there should have been some news coming through right now. Let me just check. Something is happening, I can tell you. There's something that is happening with the news side. What has happened? Something has happened. The selling can definitely have been affected by something from the news side. What is it? So I'm going back to my calendar, and there it is. 1445. Absolutely, yes. So that kind of news was affected by this data that has just happened. The data has just been released on the PMI. So I think the PMI must have shown that the dollar or the data is better. There's just no way that the dollar, or less likely the dollar would improve, you know, if the data is not good. We're still waiting for the data to be updated. Still waiting for an update there. Let me share the screen with you, then you can see what I'm talking about. So we were watching, so we're basically watching the tussle right there. There it is. The sellers have got it. The sellers have got it. We're waiting for the data to be updated. So there's still an update we're waiting for. My FX book is trying to update. We've seen it live. The buyers were wanting to kill that 1890 resistance, and they saw fire, or they say they saw flames, as they say. More news coming. Right. So we're still waiting. The news here have not been. I don't see any update right now on the market, on the services, on the PMI composite. But the way I look at the market, I won't be surprised that the PMI composite for the US dollar came better than expected. So the manufacturing PMI, the PMI composite, and the manufacturing PMI, I think it must have come back. The data should, or looks like it could have been better than expected. Let's go back to the market. The sellers have got it, guys. They're still pumping to the downside. We are now on the third M15 candle. It is happening. So that's why I'm saying that, you know what, I really don't want to be trading like this, personally. I know that someone was waiting for that price to break to the lower side. You know, we are now on 1870. So breakout trading, I do them, especially when I trade high volatility market. The NFP especially, because I mean, one of the big ways to trade the NFP would be by trading the breakout. I don't see any other way. Right. Okay. Bernardo, hola. Please check gold. I'm on gold, Bernardo. I'm already on gold. We are on gold, buddy. You know, you are coming in when you're already busy with gold. Let's check gold. We are on it. We are already on gold. We have been commentating on gold from watch now. So we are on gold. You came in when you're on gold. Watch that. Watch that. Watch the candle that is left there. Watch, the buyers were looking for a serious try right there to break the 1890. The rejection of the sellers, it's on another class. This is now on the H4 time frame. And we can see that these guys are fighting that top, made some form of a bearish harami there, made a nice classic doji there. Here is another pin bar being formed, a bearish pin bar. Beautiful, beautiful defense by the sellers of gold. Could this mean that the dollar would also bounce back? I don't know. That's what we were waiting to see. There's a bit of demand right there. So that's where gold is. Bernardo wants us to look at gold. The H4, the buyers are still priding themselves in trending there, the 1860. Can the sellers break out of the 1860? That's what we're going to do. I'm not interested. I'm just saying that personally. And if you are a trader of these ranges, you can go for it. I'm not for this small range. I don't trade the market in such a small range anyway. Between 1890 and 1855. Not interested. But the buyers have got a very nice support there. They are backed up by serious demand zones at the top on H4. Could those demand? That's what I call it's attacking from the deep. That's a deep attack. You are bringing all your defenders into the 18 area. If this could be a soccer game, and you are using them to attack, all of them, you are using all your defenders for attack. Good luck, my friend. So that's exactly what I'm seeing the gold buyers are doing there. But yeah, that's very brave of them. Bernardo wants us to look at gold. We are on gold. Just to recap, we are on gold. We're coming from this analysis of gold. Let me just put this one closer to it. We're coming from this one. So we're coming from this analysis of gold. Right. We're coming from this one where we are seeing that gold had broken to the upside and it's holding there, and the sellers are holding it around 1890, but the buyers should be happy. They have managed to clear the pitch. They are now on the upper side of the pitch. They have completely beaten the seller from where the sellers have been pinning them down. So that's where we see the fight. So the fight, though, is happening on the seller side, but the buyers have generally got it because the buyers are looking at continuing to go to the upside. Just one small pullback, and then from there they would have gotten it. That's where we are at. So that's where we are at. I wouldn't be, like I said, so from intraday basis, swing trading basis, I'm not interested to be buying this point and then go to that level, waiting for a pullback. So this is how we say that we're buying the dips. I'm waiting for further dips. I'm waiting for pullback, and then I can continue going up with gold. That's where we are at. So it's not a signal, just a potential. We'll review it when it happens. The take profit would be somewhere around 1960, as I said. 1960, something like that. Right there. 1960 is the price. So 1831 to 1960, somewhere there. So that's what we're looking at. It may not happen today. All that we are monitoring today is, will gold come and fulfill the 1835 order, that buy limit? That's what we are monitoring. As it looks right now, it doesn't look imminent. Look at the pin bars at the top. So the sellers are defending that level with everything they have. You can see sweat and tears and blood there. The sellers are fighting. Remember, this is advantage bias. So the sellers are defending. But if I were a buyer, I would not want to fight with them at that level. Exactly, that's who I am. I'm not going to be fighting, to score the ball from the 6 areas. I want to play the ball from the middle of the ground, because for me, that's where my strength comes in. Because when I get tired from right inside the 6 area, if I can be repossessed there, the ball, they're gonna definitely score against me. So I don't attack on the deep. I would allow the buyers who are at that point to keep fighting. You can see there's lots of them. These are called sentimental buyers largely. As they're pushing it there, but there the sellers. This is If it can finish like this will be the biggest within this hour since we started, since the market started, you know, like what time? Since 2 o'clock this afternoon. I mean, this will be the biggest gain of the sellers in an hour. And that would be, well, that could send a message perhaps to the buyers to say that the sellers are serious. You can see that when they come from this market on H1, they're coming with some bearish encalves there. That will be the second bearish encalve within the zone since 2 o'clock or since the New York session, pretty much. So there's the sellers are defending. Watch that. Watch the pin bar on H4. Beautiful pin bar. Bearish Arabic. Give it to the buyers though. Like I said, I'm not taking anything from the buyers. I think this was a very good attempt. The attempt that happened during the opening of the session, I guess. That is the opening of the session. Yes. Just about the opening of the session, the buyers pushed gold, you know, pushed gold right up to the level 1890. That nearly became a runaway, like wildfire. But the sellers have woken up, and what you see right now is a very strong sell. So, agreeing with our pattern there to say that according to me, the price has come today to some form of resistance. Right, I think this zone is definitely working. 1870, the 1890 zone should be pushing the price to the downside, and then the price should be able now to go to the top side. So that's gold. I've broken down gold for you. This chart that you see, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, it's a chart. It's a chart that we have used, or that we coming from. It was for our market preview, exclusive market preview for the month of May. We have already taken profit. So we bought the 1750s, and our take profit was the 1830s, 1840s. So that which you see marked there was the price. The market did not try even by an inch to go to the downside. So buy just from the time that we have issued, or that we have signaled a buy or made a call for buy. We didn't say people must take it. At the time that we have given a potential call for a buy, the market responded to that buy right there. It was, I know it was somewhere on the early, yeah, there it was. It was right on the early, on the 3rd. There it is. We are there on the 3rd. We did the review on the 3rd of May, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. So on the beginning of May, we gave our market preview was contemplating the price will bounce from here, go to there, happened with no delay whatsoever. Within a week or two, we had reached our take profit. We're now monitoring. I'm not saying that this is a signal. We will be making some other reviews. We will be making the June market preview. We choose very high volatility, high probability setups. I'm not saying gold will be there. Okay, join us. It's going to be on the Tuesday of the first Tuesday of the month. The first Tuesday of the month is going to be live on our YouTube channel this time. Live on our YouTube channel, exclusively to those who are trading Veracity. If you've got an account with Veracity, you can join our market preview, exclusive to those who have got the live accounts with Veracity Markets. The account must be funded. And those who have got live or real funded accounts with XZ Markets, those two brokers are the ones that we have partnered with. If you've got an account with them and it's funded, and you like to see on how, or you like to benefit from our in-depth market research and analysis, use it for your own trading, then you are more than welcome to let us know. Drop us an email, or you can even drop us a message right on the channel where you are watching. If you're watching from Facebook, you can join on Facebook. We'll drop your email there. Our administrator will get back to you with confirmation of you joining, or giving you a private link for you to join us on the first Tuesday of the month. We just choose the market only for 3 or 4 pairs. We stick one direction. We don't buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. No. We go one direction. Why? It could take a single trade. going one direction until target, with updates every week or as and when the market change. We send you an update. It's an exclusive time. So if you want to join that exclusivity, you're most welcome. We are still looking at the New York market, New York trading session, rather, the New York trading session. Right. Gold, it's the sellers of gold are showing buyers the flames at the tri-line. From the tri-line, if this would be a rugby game, the sellers are defending the tri-line. They are wanting, and the buyers are wanting this try. Is it going to be a try? We can only know when the price crosses the 1890. That's going to be a breakout. And if the buyers can make that try, they have changed the pitch completely. They will be playing the pitch between 1890 and 1960, 1960. That's what we are monitoring right now. So let us know which one. I'm on YouTube now. If you've got a question, let us know. There, Bernardo, lol, I posted before you touched gold. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Bernardo. You had posted before we touched gold. You are on gold right now. Thank you. All right. Anybody else? Thank you, Bernardo. Now there's gold. Not a problem, but there is gold. Right. Thank you, Bernardo. I think we're done with gold. Then I can safely then go to euro dollar. There's no problem. Watch. This is what I call negative correlation. Where are the correlation traders? No, it's not negative correlation. This is no. The fall, yes, the fall of euro here is just to confirm that bit of the fall of gold. They usually are correlated. So I should be expecting the strength from the dollar. There it is. There's the resistance of the euro there. I don't like this euro chart. I've got other better pairs, or other better analysis of the euro. But if you're liking it, my man, whoever is watching, it's good for you. It's good for you. I doubt that this shoulder will happen again, honestly speaking. I don't like when shoulders are not symmetrical. That's me. I like structure of the market, and I believe in beauty. I'm a surgery in the market. If the cut is not nice, that's not for me. Tell them that guy likes very clean and very symmetrical. If you make cuts as surgeons, the switchering must be beautiful. I don't like the cut of the euro dollar. Sorry. I like the cut of gold. So that's how classical we are. We don't just trade, we trade things that make sense. The structure must be good. The market must be cut beautifully. And we can tell you that this is a beautiful market. Those who have taught, they know. Coach, if you can say it's a beautiful market, it becomes a beautiful market. I don't like euro dollar. To be honest with you, I just don't like the structure. The structure can throw you out. You need to know more in order to trade the structure. I don't like it. And the dollar Swiss franc, there's a correlator is trying to scramble this support. I don't like that scramble either. That's what I'm saying. I don't like a structure that is not lost. The scramble around that area. I know one of the guys on FX price action is pushing the whole area as a buy area. It's very big. This area will be very big for buying. I mean, really. Buy the whole area or anywhere in the area. Of course, it's going to be a reversal in this point, but that's what it is. But I wouldn't want to make the whole area a buy area. It's too big. That's a big area to buy. I would rather buy the bottom. There it is. I would not be interested to buy right now. Perhaps there could be just a fall. The correlation is not conclusive, ladies and gentlemen. USDN. I'm just looking at correlation. Look at how USDN is doing. Has it broken? Is it holding the resistance? I'm giving you, you guys are very lucky that I'm breaking this down live in the market. This is exclusive material. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. Deep mysteries of the market. Will this support hold? It's a channel support that could be demand. Will it scramble? Looks like these guys are waking to go. Remember, if the UJ drops, watch that. Let me tell you, this could be very dangerous thing for that attempt of gold to drop. Because if this UJ drops, You know, this UJ would rather hold this support, as I say. Let's hope they are using mine. If you are a novice trader, already you are trading the breakout, I know. So novice breakout traders are already trading the breakout because they are using only the top. They are only using the top line. So I'm using two lines. I'm using two support lines. It's an area for me. So I'm looking at the whole area there. So if I look at this whole area holding this support, you can see the price is still holding in the middle. But if you are using only this one, you already have got a breakout there. So meaning that you are now selling now because it's a breakout. But you never saw that the price before kicked us out, meaning that this is a false breakout area. In my terms, I don't want to teach, we call this a trap area. So all the sellers are trapped here. If you are a novice trader, welcome to the trap area. We trap you here, my brother. This is what has been wiping your account. I've just broken it down for you there. If you know somebody who's blown account because of breakout trading, there is the solution for them. Okay, so if anybody loses money there, it is because, well, Tamale Leki would like us to look at the Mexican peso, the dollar and the Mexican peso. Neighbors again, you know, this time going to the south, right? So in this instance, this is how you get trapped. You know, a novice trader now will wanting to be selling this because the breakout of that support, you know, and the price does not go down. So this area is a trap area. So watch as how many could be trapped. You know, so it may hold, it may not hold. So we wait for confirmation. That's some of us. It may go up there, it may continue. You see, we don't trade. We don't use our money. When we say it may, I don't use my money. So I don't buy, I don't sell. But advantage buyers, not sellers. I've just said it. Advantage buyers. Why? Because this is a support. So you give advantage to the sellers on success of the sellers. The sellers have not succeeded here. Right, it's a false, it's a trap area. So the market could either go up back there or drop to this point. But I'm not going to use my money to go to the upside. To go up, I would go to the smaller time frames and look for a bullish pattern that could form. I don't know how to do it now. Can we help Walter? Brother Walter, welcome. You are watching us from YouTube. Thank you, Brady, for watching us. You would like me to look at the dollar and the US dollar and the Mexican peso. I don't know, man. I have it has been disappointing to be watching those two. Depending on the time frame and the type of the trader you are, I've been monitoring that. I did not like the movements. It looks like they are now colluding or agreeing, the both of them, you know, on where their values could be. You know, sometimes they can, you know, sometimes these guys can agree, can find them under market overview. So, you know, sometimes there is that thing that happens in the market when these guys will just agree on something that, you know, will fix the price of Mexican peso will relatively be this much, you know, against the US dollar. Let's go to it anyway. Let me not prejudge neighbors. Let's look at it, buddy. Right. There it is. I'm looking it first on intraday. It drops automatically on an intraday basis. I can go scan it. I can go and scan it on this side, minimum. What is the coach looking for? That's a big question. What am I looking for? I'm looking for structure first. I'm looking for a structure. I can scan the market like this. This is a bird structure, I can tell you now. Doesn't look good at all. When I say looking good, it's like these guys don't know what they want to do. And that's exactly what I tell traders. They say, what do you mean, coach? I said, no. You see, I would not be interested in the market does not give me structure. What am I saying? This is what I call a structure. When you go down, buddy, okay, Walter, you're watching. When the price go down, then you've made a lower low there. It's good. Then we know it's a downtrend, you know. You mark this point. You know, the market must be orderly, Walter. The market must be orderly, buddy. You know, there is the previous low, which was a lower, higher low. Yes, higher low. And there is the low, all right, and there is the lower low. I mean, then I know that, in fact, I knew that I was in a downtrend when this happened. So I definitely, this is called structure now. Now this MX, which I did, by the way, I sold there. I remember very well. If I did not give this as a signal, no, I did not. Right, I did not give this one. I think we sold the top, guys. Remember, might have sold the top there. So somewhere in 2021, this month, around March, was already enough. There was a signal there to sell. Then the price dropped, as expected. Why? Because it's now the dollar, it's on a bearish trend during this, and that's the target, by the way. Ooh la la, fine. Right, you're watching, Walter. There it is. So there's the target of that move to the downside. But now, at the target, the price loses structure, right? Moves firstly nicely back to where these guys have started. There it is. Where is the price supposed to go when you touch this? If the bearishness of the dollar should continue, I'm still on H4. The price should move like this. But why is it taking so much long on this wave? Why is this wave, I'm this wave? Why is this wave taking this long? For me, I'm gonna have to investigate that. Why? And why is it not following structure? So perhaps they are, oh, apologies, see how we look at the market. Perhaps they want to follow this. Perhaps they want this. Don't know. Maybe they want to go in this channel that can drop the price to the downside, but this channel does not look good. Does not look like it can drop the price absolutely to the very the lowest that we can see. That's exactly what I'm saying, that there could be delays right there. So that's the top. So the price then would be moving in this channel, going to the downside. So in this case, what am I saying, Walter? You could be seeing something like this, a grinding. Okay, be very careful. A grinding. If you like this, go with it. But it could be a slow movement of the dollar. So as long as you sell, you'll be happy. It's up to where? I've just shown you right now. Where is this going? There, it's where it's going, up to there. So there it is, confirming the weakness of the dollar. Just keep going just like this. The eloticians must just forgive me. I don't know how many waves will this take to go to the downside. All I'm seeing the price moving within this channel. Irregular structure. That's what I'm saying. I don't like the market that I've tried, man. That's not even a try. That's a good analysis. I've never liked Mexican peso when it started consolidating and doesn't bounce a lot from that support. But there it is, buddy. Agozami Lebrawaltama. Coach Ozami today. There it is. If you're interested, perhaps in a more, unless if you've got a trade on it, you want to manage it, there you can know how to manage. So, but the target is somewhere around 18.19. Let me just get the price correct. I can get the price correct, by the way, by just beaming there. Just beaming like this. There it is. 1902. Wow, beautiful. Love my Fibonacci. Just like that. Boom, done. 1902. 1900. So the price is now at 1991, and the price has got something like about, I don't know whether this is 90 pips or 900 pips. That's something about exotic pairs that really, sometimes I don't know how their points work. I'm not interested at all, but there you are. I've given it to you. I hope you're happy. Right, there it is. There's the breakdown, ladies and gentlemen, as I've asked by Walter to do the USD Mexican peso. Downward spiral, right there in the channel. Which channel represents this guy? Apologies for that. The channel represents this guy. This is the guy who's taking the price from the 100 of our expansion of the Fibonacci to the target number 3, which is the 161.8 expansions. When it gets there, everybody should be happy. Biden should not be happy. Biden, President, Mr. President. Let me just apologize for calling you Biden. Mr. President, when the US dollar comes to become 19 against the Mexican peso, Americans will be expecting some action from you. That the dollar is way too weak against the neighboring country. It may be perceived, it may be understood to be a sign of a weak currency and strength to the neighboring Mexico, perhaps. So there might be a need for you to make some adjustments on the monetary policy, talking to the Fed, to just let the dollar be somewhat strong, pull back the competitive price between your country's dollar and the Mexican peso would be seen to be around. Let me tell the president, Walter. Allow me to address the president. I speak to presidents, by the way, when I speak to the market. So the fair value, according to this economy, would be that the dollar has been dropping way too much, Mr. President, against the Mexican peso. So the fair value of this price, Mr. President, could be or is around. Mr. President is watching on how we get this right. The fair value, Mr. President, is 20 peso. So the dollar should be worth 20 pesos. So currently, it is at the right value. It's valued appropriately. So the dollar is valued more appropriately. But if we are not careful, it could go to 19. And the 19, Mr. President, may not be a good one. Mr. President, this may not be a good one. Let me show you. Yeah. In fact, already the dollar is already not at a good value, Mr. President. If it can drop to 19, it's not a good one, Mr. President, but it could even drop lower, Mr. President. It could still drop. Market forces. It can still drop to 16, Mr. President. 16 peso. $1 could be 16 peso before the end of the year, if it breaks. But if this level is held, it could just could touch 19, or it could just hold on there because of the structure, and it could go back to its rightful levels. Walter, I hope you're happy, my man. I was speaking to you and also speaking to the leader of the country. Sorry for that. That's how it looks like. I've added so many things there. And as an intraday trader, I think that's why it's delaying, because this 1902 is not a very good price level according to the weekly time frame. So they may be wanting to hold on to this support, because this is called a fair value. This is the lowest value at which the dollar could be valued against the peso, around 19. If it goes below that, it would not be looking pretty good from the point of economics. Always go into the details. Walter Maleki said yes and say thank. Yay, Walter is happy. Right, that's what we like to do, keeping you guys more happier. If there's any other chart that you'd like us to look at, there's no problem. We are finishing the New York session in 15 minutes. I'm finishing it. That would have been 1 hour, 30 minutes. I have promised my guys that I will be breaking down the ZAR again. It has done a very interesting thing there. I hope it did not break out. So I'm done with the Mexican peso. Walter One is still there. These are exotics, by the way. So Mexican peso, you could associate it somewhat with Turkish lira, ZAR, so that's a good one. So I'm going to be looking at USD ZAR similarly, like that, so that's pretty. If you can go look, there's going to be some similarities. Does this bring similarities? Have you not seen USD ZAR doing something like that? So USD ZAR is already, let me just show you, before I can go there, go check USD ZAR. USD ZAR is already at the lower side, following this pattern, this one, the one that I'm showing you right now. So the cycle that you are seeing, the Mexican peso is lagging. So it has managed to, or the US dollar managed to hold the Mexican peso there, but it did not succeed against the rand. You can say hooray to the rand. The rand has been doing a classical work, because the rand managed to draw the dollar backward. Now I'm talking a structure now. The dollar has made a full 5 waves, so it's going somewhere there, somewhere there. So the dollar, the rand has already drawn the US dollar up to there now. You know, this is correlation, by the way, exotics. So that's what it is, man. The Turkish lira is completely struggling against the dollar. I think it is because of the geopolitics right there. But the Turkish lira is struggling. The dollar is weak against these exotics. But the rand is showing the resilience that we have, not like we've never seen. I've seen that resilience several times, but when I compare what the Mexican peso is doing on how the Turkish lira is doing, and I look at the ZAR, I'm looking like, wow. You guys may underestimate. We could be having corruption. I'm not promoting corruption. Please, please understand me, guys. I'm not condoning anything about corruption that is linked to the strength of the rand. It's got nothing to do with that. I'm just saying that within the market, I'm just in the market. From the market perspective, this looks like the rand has been showing somewhat, it has been more attractive, you know, amongst the exotics to be bought against the dollar. That's what I'm trying to say. Ask those who are buying it. They know the politics and they know the fundamentals. All I know is that it has shown so much strength and it has been dragging the dollar, the US dollar. Unlike, it's not the case with Turkish lira, and it's not the case with Mexican peso, not at that rate. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think economists and commentators would agree with me. Why? Because the chart says so. If you're telling me about the fundamentals and the chart say there's something different, I mean, for me, I believe that the price is king. If the rand has gained more in value than Turkish lira and Mexican peso, so we should be looking for the fundamentals that make it happen like that, instead of arguing out that it's not the case, because the fact is that is the case, you know. So that's what it is. So the rand has done much better. I'm going to the rand, by the way. In the next 10 minutes, I will be speaking about the South African rand. It has been representing this country pretty well in terms of strength or holding against the US dollar. It's not good news, I know, for some who would desire, so for some of our sector, which desires a weak dollar. Okay, a weak rand, because then they are earning in dollars, you know. So because they earn in dollars and they trade in US dollars, so it is not good for them that they earn and they trade in dollars, and when they change the money and then they get few rands for their dollars. So it's not good for them, you know, those kind of guys. So it's not good news for them. But unfortunately, analysts are not to give good news. We explain the market as it goes. Whether it's good news or bad news, it's up to those who are the users and the buyers and the sellers of the rand. All I'm saying is that the rand is strengthening, and that has been sometimes being considered to become one of the ways of how a currency becomes resilient. But it may not be good for the economy. Yes, I agree. Right. It may not be good. It could be good for one sector of the economy. It could be bad for another sector of the economy. For instance, why is the US agree or fine with the weakening of their currency? It is because it is balancing one of their, it is appreciating one of their balance sheet. So their balance sheet is growing when the US dollar is weak. You know, and in that case, like I always say that one would be monitoring on how why is the US dollar not currently concerned with the depreciation of the dollar index? You know, why? It is because it's helping them, because they are seeing the benefit of the weak dollar. You know, because if during the time when the dollar is weak, these guys keep on making some profits and they can do the recovery of the economy, then in that case, they will continue to do that. They will continue to prefer a weak dollar. Let me go to the USD ZAR. USD ZAR, are you ready for the USD ZAR, guys? I'm finishing off now. Let me just respond to this and then I'll be with you. Right. USD ZAR. The USD ZAR, I don't know if it retained and it kept that breakout. I'm going to check because it did some nice things there, which I don't know if it's still holding the breakout, right? Still holding that breakout, still holding the breakout. Which one is it I'm looking for? UZ, not this one. Super Scalp, perhaps no. UZ is not there. Right, let me go to the UZ 2021. Okay, so the interesting thing here is that we've been dealing with it from here. There is the UZ. Euphoria it made. I don't know if it was as big as it could have been during some other times in era of some people, but there it is. I'm not a politician. I don't want to comment a lot on who's the preferred in the ANC and who's not the preferred. I don't. Perhaps I can leave it to my friends who are doing more fundamentals. All I'm seeing here, I don't care which faction of the market support Ramaphosa and which one supports whoever president, but bottom line is that what I'm seeing is that the rand has broken the 1395. That was when the rand crossed the 14 psychological level. The news were there that it is making the high of 16 months, the rand. So there it is. It's even broke out that 16-month high. We have got evidence now. Everybody can see that. Bazalwane. This thing traded up to 1389, touched 1389, it's now at 1390, going back to reach as the 1395. 1395 it is. So as it looks right now, this is either the continuation of the weak dollar. It's not either, it is the continuation of the dollar and the strength and the continuation of the strength of the rand. And the question is that if these levels are sustained, meaning that if this price next week, if it finishes where it is, the rand has finished the week at pole position. The rand finishes this week at pole position. Finished last week at pole position. Finished this week at pole position. So it could start the week by using the 1395 as resistance for the entire week. It's making a new range, the range that is at the consolidating the strength, by the way, that's what we say. So the rand is most likely to be going next week and to consolidate its strength if the dollar does not pull back this rand back inside the $13 level mark, which if it does, by the way, the dollar would have, I'm not talking a wish here, I'm talking scenarios. The dollar will take it back to the 1420. But if it doesn't pull, I'm saying by the end of the trading week, meaning that by the end, not the end of this session, by the end of the Sydney session of tonight, if this price does not change, next week is the dollar will be starting on a bad footing. But you can see how it's looking like right there. There could be we'll be monitoring the patterns whether the dollar will launch a counter strike against the rand, because the rand buyers were excited, I guess, by the news from the South African Reserve Bank Governor, Mr. Lesetja Kganyago. Kudos, sir. Right. The market loved your news yesterday to keep the repo rate unchanged and to revise the forecasting of growth of the South African economy from 3.8, I think, is to 4.1, if I'm not mistaken. So in that instance, the market loved that the growth forecast of the economy has been revised upward. Who wouldn't like that? So as much as the rand was strong, they're even buying more rand, and that's how, unfortunately, the fundamentals work. They will reward you anyway. So they said kudos, because that's how they vote. They voted that statement. that statement yesterday of the Reserve Bank, as they vote with their money. They voted for it, and they say, yeah. But of course, we should be very worried about inflation here, because sometimes the strong rand has got the spiral effect on the inflation, on on the inflation side. So the more the rand gets strong, the more people could be having some more money in their hands. The interest rates are kept the same. The rand fuels get stronger. The petrol price goes lower. The food price goes lower. And sometimes the inflation just also could spiral out and go up, because when people buy too much, the inflation can also be a problem. So in this case, I think Lesetja would be happy that he made this statement. He always said that we'll review at the end of the month. I think, Mr. Governor, this one, you're going to have to do something about it. I know you don't have got control over the market forces on who buys the rand and who sells it. You just use the rand value for you to decide on your monetary policy, you know. But all I'm saying is that the excitement that you have caused, that the governor has caused, you know, this is the excitement that can cause more people to be buying the rand. The petrol price drops there, and then there's way too much disposable income. Of course, the consumer spending increases, but that consumer spending can increase such that it can spiral out during the time when the rand is strong. When will the rand be strong? I think the inflation risk of the rand, according to me, will be when the rand trades, and that's the target. Unfortunately, that's the target. That if the rand can continue to break these levels as we see now and touch, it could touch the 1290 levels. 1290, I've said it. If the rand breaks, it's still a range. We are still held between the, this is still called the 14 range, by the way. Let me not cause a panic. That breaking the 1395 and standing where we stand now, we are still safely so. We are still holding a very good level of a support. So this is called euphoria. Like I said, this could, let's hope that this is just euphoria, meaning that this is how fundamentals just vote. We like what you said. Like I said, they like the statement from the Reserve Bank governor, but the price went up to 1390. You see, so if this price keeps on going to the downside and then they do get that momentum, the price will ultimately reach 1290, 13 rands against the dollar. 13 rands for $1. And when that happens, the petrol price would have dropped. The petrol price, let me estimate, the petrol price, you guys are watching me like, coach, go for it. Hey, I'm having stout guys who are watching here today. So the petrol price could be going back to around the 15 rands, you know, 15 rands, 16 rands, between 14 and 16. It could be going there, you know, over the period. You know, that's it's my opinion. Don't tell them it's a fact. It's my opinion. And if the petrol price could be somewhere around back to the 15 rand, you know, for the liter of petrol, the 93, then we're looking at some few reduction of the food prices, you know, and then more spending comes in, and that spending then could spiral out the inflation, and that could then increase the interest rate, because that's what the Reserve Bank could only do. By the way, the Reserve Bank cannot determine the price of the rand, unfortunately. And when they increase the interest rate by 0.25 or by 0.5 basis point, then we could see the rand bouncing from the 12.90 again, because that's how they want to maintain the inflation. Technically speaking, with no fundamentals, the rand is targeting 12.90, 13. That's where it's going to be finding. It's going to be overvalued for the third time. Remember, the 14 rand is not a fair value according to us for the rand. The rand should be trading somewhere between 15 and 16. We're happy there. But the 14 rand and lower aren't a very fair value for the rand. The rand is way too much overvalued there. The 12.90 will definitely cause a panic. It will cause a concern, I think, within most of the sectors within the country in terms of balancing the books. And just to balance that economy, they may prefer that the rand may go back to the 14 rand or to the 15 rand level, and that's where it could range. But unfortunately, let me shock you. The unfortunate thing is that when the rand gets to the 12.90 and it gets biased, that the US, so it is not just up to the South African Reserve Bank. The Fed could also be implementing some form of increase or some increase also in their own interest rate. and that could shoot the dollar up again. And that could shoot the dollar up. So in this instance, that's what we're looking for. Apparently, our network is not getting well, but otherwise, my time was finished. We hope that we'll meet, not we hope, we'll meet again next week. We don't know, sure. We're not sure when. So that's how I'll wrap it up. So next week, the administrator will communicate with you when we're going to do the London sessions and when we can do the New York sessions again. We have been just running it as and when it comes. So thank you so much for joining us on our trial of the live market analysis for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you love it, please tell us on our Facebook page, on our YouTube, to say keep doing this, because we want to be sure that we are doing something that you guys have been asking us to do. So from me, from the team of Opulence FX, from everybody, thank you so much. We had a great trading week, I must say. Had some nice reviews with our traders this morning, and their accounts were looking good, I must say. Kudos to one of the guys, in KZN. He's already traded just over 35% growth in his account for the month of May. Great stuff, over 30%, just about over 30%. Great stuff, kudos to you. So many of the guys are definitely doing well, but that's not to be proud, just to say, enjoy while it lasts, So that's it. So have a good weekend, and I hope you had a very good trading week. Let's look forward for another peaceful week next week. Until then, let there be peace. Thanks, Administrator.